The summer of 1914 dawned bright with promise. Yet within weeks, Europe would be engulfed in a conflict that would reshape the world. The First World War shattered the fragile peace that had held for decades. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand on June 28, 1914, provided the spark that ignited European tensions. Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding sweeping concessions. Germany, bound by treaty to Austria-Hungary, pledged its support, emboldening Vienna's hardliners. Russia mobilized its army, prompting Germany to declare war on August 1st. The great powers of Europe, driven by nationalism, imperialism and military ambition, stumbled into a conflict that none had the will to prevent. To understand the First World War's eruption, one must delve into the complex web of alliances that entangled Europe. These alliances, meant to deter aggression, instead acted as tripwires, dragging nations into conflict. The Triple Alliance united Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy in a pact of mutual defence. In response, France sought alliances with Russia and Great Britain, forming the Triple Entente. The Entente Cordiale settled colonial disputes between Britain and France, laying the groundwork for closer cooperation. Russia joined the Anglo-French partnership, forming the Triple Entente in 1907. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, it triggered a chain reaction. Germany declared war on Russia and France, while Britain declared war on Germany. The system of alliances designed to prevent war had instead facilitated it. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, ignited European tensions. Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist, carried out the assassination, pushing Austria-Hungary and Serbia to the brink of war. Backed by German support, Vienna issued a harsh ultimatum to Serbia. Serbia refused several demands, arguing they violated its sovereignty. Despite Serbia's conciliatory tone, Austria-Hungary declared war on July 28, 1914. The assassination highlighted the volatile mix of nationalism, imperialism, and diplomatic blunders in pre-war Europe. The First World War was a global conflict, with battles fought on multiple continents. The Ottoman Empire's entry into the war expanded the conflict's geographical scope. In Africa, colonial possessions became battlegrounds as European powers sought control. German colonies in Africa saw fierce fighting between German, British, French and Belgian forces. The war at sea played a crucial role, with Germany's submarine warfare drawing the United States into the war in 1917. The Battle of Jutland highlighted the strategic importance of naval power in a globalized world. The First World War witnessed an unprecedented escalation in the lethality of warfare. New weapons, from machine guns to poison gas and tanks, transformed the battlefield. The machine gun made frontal assaults costly and often futile. Heavy artillery turned battlefields into landscapes of craters and destruction. Poison gas added a new level of horror to the battlefield. Tanks offered a potential solution to the stalemate of trench warfare. The war showcased the transformative potential of technology in warfare. The Western Front became synonymous with the horrors of trench warfare. Millions of soldiers endured unimaginable conditions in muddy, rat-infested ditches. Life in the trenches was a constant struggle for survival. Soldiers faced relentless artillery fire, machine gun attacks and sniper fire. The trenches were often waterlogged, breeding disease and infection. Periods of intense fighting resulted in staggering casualties but rarely achieved decisive breakthroughs. Despite the horrors, soldiers developed a remarkable sense of camaraderie and resilience. They shared rations, told stories, and wrote letters home. The First World War produced a generation scarred by the experience. By 1917, the First World War had devolved into a bloody stalemate. The entry of the United States into the war in April 1917 tipped the balance of power in favor of the Allies. Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann telegram drew the US into the conflict. The arrival of American troops provided a morale boost to the Allies. American troops played a decisive role in key battles in 1918. The war marked the United States' emergence as a global power. The First World War triggered a wave of revolutions and upheavals that toppled empires. In Russia, the strains of war culminated in the Russian Revolution of 1917. The Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, seized power, promising peace, bread and land. The Austro-Hungarian Empire crumbled under the weight of war. The Ottoman Empire collapsed in the aftermath of the war. The war's end witnessed the birth of new nations, including Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia and Poland. The war's legacy of revolution and upheaval continued to shape Europe and the Middle East. The Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, officially ended the First World War. The treaty imposed harsh terms on Germany, holding it responsible for the war and burdening it with reparations. Germany lost significant territory, and its military was severely restricted. The treaty's harsh treatment of Germany created resentment and bitterness. This sense of grievance contributed to the rise of nationalism and extremism in Germany. The Treaty of Versailles failed to address the underlying causes of the conflict. The First World War, often referred to as the war to end all wars, failed to live up to its name. The war's unprecedented scale of death and destruction left an indelible scar on the human psyche. Millions lay dead, and countless others bore the physical and psychological wounds of war. The war shattered the illusion of progress and enlightenment, leaving behind disillusionment and despair. Civil wars erupted in Russia, China and Spain, fueled by ideological divisions. The rise of fascism and Nazism in Europe ultimately led to another global conflict in 1939. The war highlighted the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked nationalism, imperialism and militarism. Its lessons continue to resonate today, a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict.